I've been working on this for 6 months. I thought I had 20 minutes, but I have 5, which is perfect because then I have to just get to the point. For an African storyteller, that is really, really a challenge. So, that's gonna This ain't going, it's just a joke, so you can that was to help you know, actually. I realized because I knew that one of the important things for me, my personal witness at this conference is wearing my African clothes, not just because it's an awesome, fashionable thing to do. It's not just because if you need to applaud, just do this so that you don't steal my fun. And it's not just because I'm hoping that if I don't say anything special, that you just say, you know what, she didn't really say anything, but she looked awesome. but it is an African statement in case, especially when pictures go out there about our gathering. I wanted to make sure that my African brothers and sisters see that there was an African woman here. Representing my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, my great-great-great-grandmother, my family, all the way back to the Yoruba people and the Maasai people of the slopes of Mount Kenya. And I need to say that because part of the most difficult place has been people that I have been associated with as an African woman. So I needed to make myself visible, should there be people set out there and be a risk taker that way in my own places. And so I want to begin the Bible study quickly by telling an African proverb that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. And so when giants, Babylon and Egypt, fight, it is the grass called Judea that becomes the kosher bologna sandwich piece. Between up north is Babylon, down south is Egypt, and little Judea is in the warpath. There's also an African riddle that says, Kitanawili Tega, riddle, I have a man who lives between two enemies. And the answer is the tongue, a piece of flesh that lives between navigating the set of teeth. 597, you need to etch that into your brain. 597 before the Common Era, that was when Babylon entered Judea and the political strategy of uprooting and forcing Judea and Samaria citizens into deportation from their homeland, the Promised Land, forced into exile. Then there is a 597, later on the 587, two deportations. Can you see God's people marching out of the Promised Land? Can you see them walking up north, further norther than they've ever been, way past the borders of the Promised Land? There they go to the refugee camps in Babylon, vacating Judea so that Babylon can put its own citizens into Judea. I come to you this morning pregnant with this text. And so it's no wonder that in this morning's witness, by my sister, that I suddenly saw this text as the LGBTQ community in 1972 General Conference marched off into exile. These exile walls ended up by the river Chebar. It's tragic to leave the Holy Land, but perhaps even more so for a priest like Ezekiel. Ezekiel living the promised land and not just that, living Jerusalem and not just that, living the temple. It was a theological crisis. Questions like, where is God? Why does God allow this to happen to God's people? If God is good, maybe we should respond to that listening, not with God is good all the time, but God is good, question mark, all the time, question mark. That's exile. And we get to think maybe it's something we've done. Maybe we deserve this. The psalmist in Psalm 137 sang about this. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat and there we wept when we remembered Zion. We hang our harps upon the willows, for there our captors asked for songs, our tormentors demanded songs of joy. They said, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How can we sing the songs of the Lord in a strange land? And that song is also loaded with anger of being in Babylon. It ends with, O daughter of Babylon, doomed to be destroyed, blessed shall he be who takes your little ones and dashes them against the rock. Such anger. And there we are in exile, and we meet the priest named Ezekiel, son of Buzi. He's there with his beloved wife. His pet name for her is Delight of My Eyes. Sweet. I wonder, what does a priest do in exile? What does a priest do when the institution you were trained to serve has been swept away? When the building that housed the institution has been burned to the ground? What does a priest do when the skill set of a priest are no longer relevant? You see, if a priest's work is to scrub up and dress up, there are no holy vestments and holy prayers in exile. If a priest is to offer sacrifices in the temple, there are no temples, no altar, nowhere to find unblemished lambs and doves in exile. Exile strips us of everything. And that's a gift. Because in exile, the priest is transformed into a prophet. There it is. The priest becomes a prophet. Oh, I wish I had time to tell you about it, but the good thing is I don't do anything that's not in the Bible. It's in the Bible, you can read it for yourself. I'm going to tell you that there by the river Chebar, he saw the most amazing thing. He saw the wheel within the wheel within the. He saw these cherubim and seraphim. He saw God's presence in exile. But God is not bound by place or institution. And God was in exile with God's people. And he was carried, says another passage, into Jerusalem, and he saw God's presence leaving the temple and heading to exile. God did not return to the heavens. God went to exile with God's people. In the exile, it is the gift of being stripped down to who we are as God's people. In exile, the priest becomes a prophet. This man transformed from being bound and gagged and tagged and mugged by the temple precincts into becoming a prophet. Oh, you should go back and read Ezekiel. The whole thing, you will be stunned by him. You will be like me, worried that your third graders might run into Ezekiel by mistake. Shocking! How he uses his very body to demonstrate. There is Ezekiel making his dinner using for fuel human dung. I didn't put that out, it's in there. There is Ezekiel when his wife, the light of my eyes, dies in exile. He does not shed a single tear to show the pain of exile. He does not go through the mourning rituals. He does not attend a funeral. That's the pain on a personal level of exile. And then there is Ezekiel. There is Ezekiel revisioning what it will be when we return back into the promised land. And so, having known that, let's read together Ezekiel 47. I'm going to ask, is there anyone here who will be going as a delegate to General Conference? If you see the word river in the text, that's your voice. Can you say it loud? Let's hear it. Every time you hear river, that's you. Has anyone here ever been to a General Conference? If you see the word water, that's your cue. Let's hear it. Water. And all of us, if you see the word mortal, that's our cue. Let's hear it. Mortal. Well, I remember a thing I said, so you need to remember what I just said. Let's read the text. Then he brought me back to the temple's entrance. I noticed that water was flowing towards the east from, I noticed that water was flowing towards the east from under the temple's threshold. The temple faced east. The water was flowing out from under the temple's facade towards the south of the altar. He led me out through the north gate and around outside to the outer east gate where the water flowed out under the facade on the south side with the line in his hand. The man went out toward the east. When he measured off 1,500 feet, he made me cross the water. It was ample. He measured off another 1,500 feet and made me cross the water. It was knee-deep. He measured off another 1,500 feet and made me cross the water. And it was waist high. When he measured off another 1,500 feet, it had become a river that I couldn't cross. The water was high, deep enough for swimming, too high to cross. He said to me, he said to me, do you see that he led me back to the edge of the river? When I went back, I saw very many trees on both banks of the river. He said to me, these waters This is so good. It's going to turn everything upside down. The fresh water is going. This is so good. Instead of the fresh water being polluted, the fresh water will pollute with freshness, if I can use it that way. These go out to the eastern region, flow down the steep slopes and go into the Dead Sea with the flowing deserts, the sea, the becomes fresh wherever the river flows. Every little thing that moves will thrive. There will be great schools of fish because when these enter the sea, it will be fresh. You all know the Dead Sea, the sea. Wherever the river flows, everything will live. People will start fishing beside it from Engedi to Eglalia. It will become a place for spreading nets. It will be sitting on it of this church. This is so good. Everybody read it. This is so good. And it can only have happened out of exile because its marshes and swamps would be made fresh. They are left for salt. The couple of people will be left for salt. So the whole thing will be salt. It's just a couple of places where it should be salty. Make the salty. Just not the whole thing. But on both banks of the river will grow up all kinds of fruit-bearing trees. Their leaves will wither and their fruitfulness will wane. They will produce fruit in every month because their water comes from the sanctuary. Their fruit will be for eating. Their leaves for eating. May God bless you, the drop of water that you are. God is doing a mighty thing. Exile is difficult. Some of us came in the second deportation. Some went in the first one. Some came in the second one. And may God turn priests, the priesthood of all believers, into prophets who can see as far, even as the river. The amazing river of the United Methodist Church, which gives life wherever